it goes in that direction 100 miles an hour.
Correct.
So if I'm pissed off and angry, I'm not going to recover and turn around.
Right.
It's going to go deep on that. But you're finding really turns you into a positive state and
yeah, and I felt
comfort.
I felt good, and that's where everybody was seeing me as, like the bubbly version of me that most people like know. But
you're starting to fit in probably then.
Yeah. And
feeling because people are accepting you and you're cool and this and party time is
party time. Yeah.
You think they're your friends, right? They're bar people that.
Yeah. And you're all experimenting in high school and stuff. So like there's parties and there's still many friends that I have that I partied with. And, at that point in time, and I didn't know what I was getting to. I didn't know what I was going to run into down the line, getting into alcohol and deep into it. But at the time, it was fun. It all starts off with fun and experimenting.
Sure.
You just never know, especially with addiction. You don't know if you're set up for it until it's too late.
So you would say you were addicted to alcohol. You were an alcoholic.
Correct.
You're experiencing alcoholism.
Yes.
In your early 20s.
It started in my early 20s. Yeah, I would say in my early 20s. It started in my later teens.
That behavior.
Yeah. Graduated high school, barely, but I graduated, got to walk, do the whole thing. And I went through that summer and into that fall. I got my own apartment and moved out, got 1 or 2 jobs. I have my own place. I'm an adult. Mm-hmm. I'm paying my own bills.
Yeah.
I'm throwing a party.
Yeah.
A couple times a week in my apartment and having all my friends over.
No marijuana.
Oh, everything.
Everything. Anything that's a party. That's,
everything. Of course.
Okay. Just trying to paint that picture.
Oh, yeah. Oh, everything. Anything you can think of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
Well, I mean, I can think of a lot of things. Can we cover some of those things?
Sure. Yeah.
Ecstasy.
Yeah. I mean, those be involved, and obviously the pills and stuff, and meth and all the hard stuff as well. Not quite as often during that time, but not me, but my friends. Mm-hmm. So it was within the vicinity of me.
But there was stuff you were saying no to.
Yes, because I knew at that point that I had my fix. Mm-hmm.
You weren't completely.
Yeah, I found my treat, and what was giving me what I needed. And I knew that this was dangerous. So the harder stuff, I knew to say no to because I knew where that would take me.
Yeah. Good.
Very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't be here.
So you were still making good decisions.
Yeah.
Out of bad decisions.
I think there was a part of me there was a part of me this whole time that was playing tug of war.
You still had jobs.
Yes.
So you were functioning.
Yeah.
You were a functioning alcoholic. You were a party guy like anybody else. You'd be able to get up though.
I mean,
in the morning.
In my 20s, I found a job that allowed me to do that, and that was be a bartender.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
Full-time bartender.
There it is.
Professional party goer.
Yeah.
And party maker. You provide the fun in your hands, and.
It fit. What a great fit.
Yeah. And then at the time.
After bars.
Yeah. And I was in and on metal bands up until out of high school. And then I had like a 1 year off.
Oh, so, okay.
And then I started my first cover band.
So we got bands going on now. We're partying in the apartment. We have
20 years old. I started.
You're forming a band.
Yeah. My first cover band. I was out of original stuff. And I was starting my first cover band.
Still bartending.
Still
bartending's paying the bills.
Bartending and cooking.
Okay. Same place?
At a family restaurant.
Oh, 2 different places.
Yes.
Okay.
At a family restaurant. So I was doing those 2 things. I eventually just quit the cooking job and I went to bartending and cooking at this establishment.
Okay. Makes more sense.
So I was just working pretty much full time there.
Yeah. How'd the band thing go then?
And that would, the bar, you can have flexible schedule. So the band could always work.
Yep.
So it was weekends.
And you were a good I'm assuming, just knowing you were a very good bartender.
Oh,
you could pretty much call the shots with your hours, and they would be just fine with that.
Yeah, he was totally the boss was awesome.
Well, you're talented too.
Yeah, and I did my job, and I always take pride in any job that I do.
I can see that. That never changed.
Yeah, it just whatever job that I'm ever in, whether it was cleaning floors and janitorial work or being on a roof, like I try to take pride in my work and work hard and be a hard worker
which you dedicate to your father.
Which was always instilled into me that way.
I love that.
To just be that hard worker and to keep pushing and not give up. So yeah, I did all that, and after bartending, like I would go out and party until whatever hours in the morning. And at this point, my wife, who was my girlfriend, through all of this, through all, like from 16 years old up until now, she was my girlfriend. She was 14, so she was a freshman.
High school sweethearts.
Yes.
No kidding.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
So she saw all this from the beginning, from my first band.
How it played out.
To me being in the hospital, all that stuff. And getting our first apartment after I got out of high school, and me starting all these bands. So my first band was Threat Level Midnight. So if you're a fan of The Office, you're going to know what that is.
All right.
We're trying to think of a cool name, like what was funny, fun, but yet sounded hard, because we're a hard metal band.
Yeah, that works.
If you say Threat Level Midnight, you're like, wow, that sounds like a heavy band.
Yeah, it sure does.
We were a cover band, and we covered like Mudvayne, Disturbed,
Wow.
like Limp Bizkit.
Was it Get Down with the Sickness?
Yeah.
But that's not the name of the song, probably.
Down with the Sickness.
Down with the Sickness. Okay.
Yeah, Mudvayne, Kill Switch Engage, like heavy stuff.
Awesome. That took you up till...
That took me from like 19, 20 to like 22, 23. And from there, I took like almost a year off, and then I was reached out by a member of the band called Callous. And
That's a pretty tough name.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, this is another tough name. I like this. And I've watched this band before. Threat Level Midnight has played
Local-ish?
kind of, yeah, Manitowoc County, I would say.
Okay.
Experienced guys, like next level experience
Okay.
from what we were doing.
So that was a big time call.
Yeah, so when they messaged me and asked me if I would be interested in trying out, I didn't think I was fit for the job, but I'm like, sure, I'll go do it. And I was so nervous from the night before that I just got wasted the night before, and then I went there hungover.
Okay.
And I killed it.
Okay.
I was
Some things you can do better hungover.
And the bass player of that band, he'll always tell you, Mike Sitter, he'll tell you that, I remember when he first tried out, he came in and he was hungover and he was dry heaving in the garbage in the corner.
Oh, wow, that bad.
But he sounded good.
That bad. That level of hungover.
Oh, yeah, I was bad.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Well, your anxiety got, I'm nervous, or whatever you want to call it. I mean,
that was only like and I was nervous. So that played a big part.
You had to calm your nerves somehow.
Yeah, they had beer. So within the first hour, I was.
Hair of the dog, back, feeling good.
I was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was easy.
Oh, so you lead singer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they liked my voice, and then I became the new lead singer of Callous. They've been established for some years before that already. Great band. And Jeff, who is the singer before me, he was great. Big, powerful voice. I brought a lot more different variety because I did a lot of the heavier stuff, so they wanted to kind of add a little bit of that in there. And then my voice, like my range, I sing fairly high in range, so added a lot of that.
That acapella, or what do you call it? You don't call it acapella.
No.
High octave.
Octaves, yeah, high octaves. It would be like a tenor. I'm a tenor, was what they would call me for voices. So I sang a lot more. The variety broadened at that point, and I was in that band for 6 years.
Wow.
And halfway through that period of time, so around second or third year, is the peak of my drinking. So like it was getting to a point where like it was no longer fun, and it was more of a functional thing. Like I had to feel not shaking and not.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I had to feel normal.
Medicated. You got to
Yes.
medicate with
Right.
it.
I was
more than-
addicted. I was truly addicted physically. So it became that point, and that went on for, I don't even know. Like, you get to that point and you're so lost, you don't even know where it happened. And
Where
it's-
those lines got blurred at some
Right.
point.
yeah, where you crossed over where it was like, now you're addicted. Like, now what are you going to do?
And it's scary.
Yeah. And I remember, like, all through later teens to that point in time, always saying, like, yeah, I know I have a problem. Like, I know, whatever. Let's have a shot about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's still fun. Then you
Yeah.
could still get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I could see that for sure.
Yeah, and
So when you said that was at the peak, that was at the climax of your addiction with alcohol.
yeah, and the band was noticing things.
Oh, that's not good.
I was starting to forget a lot, and my wife was obviously noticing a lot of things. She said she was afraid that I was, like, getting cancer or something, because I was looking sick. I was looking like gray.
So you're drinking that much. When did the drink in a 24-hour span timeline? When did the drink? When would you have your first drink?
As soon as I woke up.
You'd have a drink.
Yeah.
Vodka.
Yep. Vodka. My favorite shot was Rumpelmann's.
Okay.
And I knew that was 100 proof, so I knew that could get me to where I needed to be quick.
Really?
Yeah.
You would look for that. Like, hey, if there's a shot of a bottle of Rumpelmann's there at 8 a.m., that would be game.
Yeah.
Fair game.
It ended up being to the point where it was happening all day. And I would wake up multiple times in the night and have to drink myself back to sleep.
Wow.
So I remember many times being curled up, like, in the bathroom, like, shaking next to the toilet.
Is that from withdrawal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like,
Hard withdrawals.
yes. And everyone's like, "Where's your wife? Wow, she's sleeping." Like, I tried. I did not want to burden her with
No, you love her.
my fight, and I tried so hard to keep that.
And you wanted to win it on your own.
Yeah, and I wanted to win it because she saw it. She knew, like, that I was struggling, but she didn't know how much I was struggling.
Yeah. What extent?
Yeah, and people will say, "Well, I can't believe she's a saint. She stayed with you through all that." I was functional. I was like this every day.
Only drunk.
Yeah.
If you got breathalyzed, where would you be at? Right at noon.
0.2 to 0.3.
That high.
Yeah.
Double the legal limit.
And probably at my highest, where I was like I couldn't go without every, like, couple hours. Probably like 0.4, but, like,
Hammered.
stuff that were
That's hammered.
that's where people would die.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's more than intoxicated.
It would be technically,
But you could function at that.
but I would talk like this. I would
See, that's
you would look at me right now,
what is that?
and you wouldn't know.
But how does that work? I don't.
It's just a tolerance that gets built up over time, and alcohol is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. Like, your body gets so addicted to it quickly. Like, I'm talking overnight. Withdrawals are your body getting attached to the substance, and you're withdrawing from the substance. Your body needs that chemical, and it's trying to get rid of it to get back to normal, or else bring more in to keep it back to normal. Like, either drink to bring yourself to feel normal, or we're going to have your body says, we're going to have you withdraw to get us back to base level.
Yep.
And it happens so quickly. And I never knew that it would be alcohol that would be my fix. I struggled bad with it. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I didn't know how to stop.
Oh, that's a high level of intoxication.
Yeah. And at this
On a
point,
daily basis.
yeah. And I'm going through these struggles of just trying to be normal. Like I'm literally lost in the bottle. Like I'm in.
So you're trying to be normal while you're drunk, though. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean.
Did you hide it?
Yeah.
Did you hide? You hid the fact that you were drinking.
The addiction, and anybody who's addicted or has been addicted, or know anybody who's fought with somebody through addiction, it turns them into a person that you are not truly who you are. You turn into something different.
You get ugly.
Yeah. And
lying.
Yep. You make bad decisions, and at this point, not knowing then, it like when I was in my teens, it was in my 20s, the depression was back, and it was heavy.
Resurfaced.
Yeah. Except now I'm an adult now.
So now what are you depressed? What is the main source of your depression at this point? Fast forwarding that many years, it's not that you didn't fit in anymore, or that was your first one.
Mm-hmm.
What do you dedicate that to? Guilt that you're drinking so much? Because it's a guilty feeling.
Yeah.
Right?
I think I was drinking. I wanted the party to keep going and never stop, because it went back to that teen years where I felt I needed to escape. Like there was lots of unresolved things in my head that I still was trying to escape, and I wasn't working through. And now I had a bunch of things, and I was an adult, and I had.
And you knew this wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
This is going to crash. You're going to hit that wall at some point.
Yep.
When did that happen? Did it happen?
Oh yeah, it happened, and I always joked that I wasn't going to see 30. I'm like, I might as well live as hard as I can and as fun as I can right now.
Why did you think that? Because those are true feelings.
Yeah.
What made you say that? Think that?
I like to live fast, and because it made me feel good. And that's the only time I felt good in my life, was to move fast.
If you pictured your death, how did you think you were going to die?
I don't know.
Just wouldn't be around. Something would take you out.
In the famous words of Metallica, hardwired to self-destruct.
Yep.
I was hardwired to self-destruct.
Yeah.
And
hardwired means it's not going to fail.
Right. And it came to that
the best connection.
It came to that point, 25, 26, and I was in my car, and I took a drink, and I realized it wasn't helping anymore. It wasn't doing anything. Mm-hmm. I was feeling terrible.
No buzz.
Nothing. No matter what I drank, I felt like I could have drank as much as I can, and I knew that if I just drank to get back to where I needed to be, I'd either be passed out or dead.
That's interesting, because I know tolerance is a real thing.
Yeah.
But normally, what I know of it is when you hit a certain point of alcoholism, mm-hmm. it gets easier to get that feeling. You get drunker faster. As you get older, it's the same thing. You could feel it on one drink now. That's also scary.
And I never was truly sober, so I would always be at a point whatever.
Point whatever. I like that.
And then it's just a matter what point of the day that I was higher.
Yeah. So what do you compare it to, right?
Exactly.
What's normal?
Right. There was nothing.
Because there was no soberness. So what are you gauging that off of?
Normal was just being able to talk, being able to see, being able to communicate, being able to do things without the thought of the withdrawal coming into play.
Did you have any liver pain?
I did. I started noticing that on my right side, mm-hmm. and on my left side. So that was my spleen.
Yeah.
That was happening because I had alcoholic hepatitis. So I drank myself into hepatitis.
Any jaundice?
And that's when I started getting jaundice and
getting
sick.
Eyes
it was slightly in my eyes, and then and my skin was pale. Mm-hmm. I didn't look tan.
And you probably weren't getting sun. You weren't getting vitamins. Were you ever eating? I gotta ask you.
I would try to eat, but then I developed gastritis, and not knowing that until after. So the gastritis would be so bad at that point that if I forced something down, it would come right back up.
Anything. You would vomit any food out.
Not all food, but it was a struggle to try to eat, for sure.
What did that feel like? What does that feel like when you have?
It's like when you took a really nasty shot. It goes down and then it wants to come back up.
It's burning.
Yeah, it wants to come back up.
Wow.
Aches, and it just.
So you're reckoning hard alcohol. You're reckoning it all the way down.
All the way down.
It wasn't just the liver.
No, it was
esophagus.
Everything. It was not good. That's when my wife was noticing that, like, she thought I was sick. She didn't know. She obviously didn't know the extent. Nobody knew the extent.
Okay.
Like, that's why she didn't have a problem with me. I wasn't a problem. I was functional. I was only a problem when I started like losing my mind because I have something called hepatic encephalopathy, which is the toxins get too built up in your body because your liver's not functioning so well, then it goes to your brain.
Okay.
So it causes like something
I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah, it causes something that's like when you're in liver failure.
Mm-hmm.
So my liver was failing.
You weren't going in. This is a stupid question, actually.
No.
You're not going in to get labs done at this point in life. You're not going in for a yearly.
No.
No blood work.
No. I finally had that point where I was in the car and I was like, this isn't helping anymore. I'm like, I need to stop. I feel like I'm dying. Like, I feel like I'm truly dying now. My wife was pregnant with my child, Araya. And I'm like, that was my reason. I thought that moment, if it's not going to be for me, it's going to be for this being that's. So
there was a one moment.
One moment, it was like a flash, and I took advantage of it, like of clarity, and I took advantage of that.
You saw something clear.
It was
jumped on it.
It was because I was in and out of like, man, should I stop? No, I shouldn't stop. Oh, should I keep going? Oh, I'm gonna just drink myself to death. That I'm like, who cares? Mm-hmm. You know, the depression was there. But then through the midst of all that heavy mist and fog, there was a slight moment of clarity of why I should stop. And it was in that car when I was drinking. So it was for my daughter, is to be the father, to have my new calling in life of being a father. So then I made a plan. I'm like, I have to tell everybody involved.
So
my wife.
So you don't have a way out.
No.
Right?
No. Yep. So telling
accountability.
My wife finally found stashes and she got mad, and then I told her that I wanted to stop.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know how to stop, and that's when she became weird because she didn't know how sick I looked, and I'm like, now I have to tell my job. Tell my band. I told them I already quit my band at this point.
When you tell them, what are you telling them? Exactly. What are you telling them?
I have some heavy stuff that I need to deal with, and my band, I tell them I have some stuff I have to deal with, and I can't. I'm not who I need to be right now, so I need to go take care of it before I come back. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we stopped playing, and then I went to my job, and I just told them straight up what was happening. I'm like, you can fire me if you want, but at this point, it's not a matter of like, what do I have a job or not? It's life or death.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the least of my worries at this time. So do what you need to do, but I need to go. They were very understanding. Work was great, understanding. They gave me some paperwork to fill out, so I had some time off.
Some leave.
And I went and did that. They wanted me to go see like a therapist or something. I'm like, I don't need that. I'm like, I need to go get medical help. But I went and entertained the idea. I went there, and that didn't end up good. Okay. Arguing with the therapist and everything.
Wow.
But then the therapist saw, I walked outside, and the therapist followed me outside, and saw me under the sunlight, and was like, told my wife and the friend that was there, he needs to go to the hospital now. They're like, okay, where? And then they led me to Sheboygan. And they're like, if you're lucky, there'll be a bed there for him in the behavioral unit to start his process. And there was. We went there, and there was. And I went quickly from being able to talk like this to they had to carry me into the ER.
Total failure at that point.
Yeah, my body was just
It's shutting down.
Liver was failing and kidneys were failing. My pancreas was okay. My spleen was very heavily inflamed. It was fighting an infection, which was hepatitis. And that was killing my liver. And my liver was failing. My body was failing. And my labs weren't going in their good direction. There was many people that were been at that stage that I was at, that there's no turning back.
Yeah.
I was at a point of no return. Like they were like,
once it's at I think it's level 4 failure.
Yeah, that's where I was. Where I was so inflamed, that's where my liver was so inflamed. That's where I kind of was. It was to like
stage 4.
Maybe get them a liver transplant. So they're heavily debating that while I was detoxing.
A lot of times they don't want to give a liver to somebody that's due to alcoholism.
Correct. You have to prove to yourself to be like you're on the sober train, and but if it's in an extreme, like this guy's gonna die, which was pretty much the case.
Okay.
They heavily thought about it, but they monitored me very closely while I withdrew for days.
What was that like?
I don't wish that on anybody. That is feeling your body like shut down and like you're dying. That full body pain, every inch of your body.
If somebody would have walked a drink into you and offered you a drink in there, would you have taken it?
It's hard to say.
When you were in that much pain, I don't think you would have.
By
the way, I'm not here to tell you.
Yeah, I don't think at that point I would have.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, I don't think I went in there. I went in there to, like, as cheesy as it sounds, like to burn myself up and then be like, try to be a phoenix rising from the ashes type thing. So I was there to be reborn.
It had to get worse before it got better.
Correct. So I had to get over this hump, and that was the addiction part, physical addiction. It took 3 days. They wanted me there for a week.
I bet you that felt like a week though.
Oh my God. Looking at the clock, it felt like it's a very empty room. There isn't much in there, and the windows are barred.
Rubber room.
Yeah. There's bars in the room. It's empty. It's just a bed and you, and that's it. And you just, whatever you got to do to like get through it. Like that hall there is like, not to be mean or anything, but it felt like a zombie room. Like everybody was going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
As me. So like there's people withdrawing. Another room, I'm withdrawing.
Did you think you were even gonna make it through that?
No. I was like day 1 or 2, and I was like, they kept on telling me my levels, like I was slowly dying.
Oh.
And then they had to pull my wife in and talk to me and my wife and say, if his levels don't turn around, we have to start talking about where he feels the most comfortable, and then we can give him medication as he.
Oh, you're talking about, wow.
Like hospice.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if it doesn't happen within like the next 24
and
hours.
You don't walk away from hospice.
No, like that's it. Like, and then they would give me medication to be pain free until I pass.
That's how close you were.
That discussion happened.
I mean, what was it? What do you think? What do you chalk it up to that your body turned around? Was even able to turn around? After
that discussion, it was in the middle of the night. It was like maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was hurting. But there was another moment of clarity where I'm like, I think I can do this if I set my mind to it. Like if I really like try to sleep with intent. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to force myself to eat with intent. Like the will to live. There was a moment that I had, I don't know who, or, many people believe in things. I had a decision. That was my decision time. Do I lose the will to live, or was I given a second chance, have the will, fight in my mind, and that will help me get my physical.
I'm wondering if that was a contributing factor to, mind over matter, kind of the mindset triggered a response in your body to heal to some extent, because it seems rare for someone to make that attempt and then die a couple days later. You know what I mean? To fight that hard.
I think many people let go, and like it's too. Sometimes it is too far gone. But the doctor that talked to me. He's like, "You taught me something." At the end of it, he's like, "You taught me how far someone can go, and with the will, can pull themselves back." Like I've seen so many.
You did the Rocky story.
Yeah, I've seen so many go where you were and not come back, and like he's like, "You taught me something today."
Wow.
Yeah, that night I had that will, I had that decision, and I decided yes. I was looking at my daughter's ultrasound picture next to my bed. That was the only thing I was allowed to have in there. I just looked at that, and like every bout of withdrawal, like because it would happen like every couple minutes, like the shakes and
every couple minutes.
Yeah, just rounds and rounds and rounds of it for like days. I would just look at that picture and just fight.
Wow, that's powerful.
So
does she know any of that?
Not yet.
Someday?
When she's going through her own thing, when she's a teenager, I think it's going to be the appropriate time. When she understands life a little bit more.
I like that.
Yeah. And when she starts experimenting herself. Mm-hmm. Everybody's going to experiment.
Oh, yeah.
I hope to be that safe space. Mm-hmm. And that's someone that she can come talk to when she's experimenting. So then I can tell my story. I have liver cirrhosis. So I'm at the last stage of liver failure. I've halted it at this point due to not drinking and diet and exercise.
So cirrhosis right now?
Yes.
Fatty liver, beyond fatty liver, what exactly is happening inside your liver?
It's
bile?
It's scarred.
Okay, so it can't function that way.
No. It's scarred up bad. Like cirrhosis is, people say, well, it can heal. Cirrhosis is the time where it doesn't heal.
Okay.
It's done. It's scarred. So fibrosis and all that, that's all fatty liver. The stages before that, if you stop, you can bring your liver back. Once you're in cirrhosis, there's 4 stages of cirrhosis. So then compensated and then decompensated. I'm in the compensated stage. So it's just a matter of time before I become decompensated. When that happens, you can look at statistics and they're going to say anywhere between like 9 and 15 years, but that's just
so it still is healing. It's
but
that's a really slow process at that point.
Yeah, but I'm saying failure. Like there's no turning back at this point. I'm saying 9, 15 years and you're gone.
Oh, you're saying the
survival. Yeah. Survival is like 9 to 15 years. But that's
the average person. They're doing the statistics.
So they're bringing everybody who's had it. Recently, I've had an ultrasound, and the doctor told me, "You're probably going to help that average." Mm-hmm. He's like, "I wouldn't worry too much about that. As long as you stop drinking, you do not drink like you have."
Drinking's not an option for you.
No.
Well, any type of toxin, pollution's bad. Anytime your liver has to try to detoxify.
Yeah. Which is why it brought me into my world of fitness, to be fit. Because the next leading cause of liver cirrhosis is obesity. And some people die from liver cirrhosis because of being obese. I have very little liver to work with, so I can't afford to be obese, because that will also kill me.
How's your energy level?
It's up and down, but it's not as crazy as it was when I first started recovering, because I exercise, because I eat right. Doesn't mean I don't flexibly eat. Like, doesn't mean I can't, at this point in my life, I can't go to like Culver's or, have a good burger somewhere, have a good steak or something like that. But majority of the time, I'm choosing to eat right lean meats, greens, take vitamins, the whole thing. Working on my sleep, exercising, keeping my body fat lower so my liver has no extra stress.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever take milk thistle?
Yeah, milk thistle, all the fun stuff. Turmeric or turmeric, whatever you want, however you pronounce it.
Yeah. Potato.
That's right.
Only people don't say potato. No one says potato.
Potato, yeah. Potato, tomato. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I pulled through that night. It was tough.
How about glutathione?
No, I've never heard of that.
Neutralizes the acetaldehyde. That's when the conversion happens in the liver. Actually, cause a colon cancer too. So it's kind of the byproduct of healing itself. There is still that pollutant.
Yeah.
But that's kind of after everything's said and done. So I don't think that's not something that's not part of the liver cleansing process anyways.
Yeah.
I'm at interesting, but your energy levels are okay because the liver controls a lot of energy, correct?
Yes, and like, I'll feel sleepy some days, like.
But I mean, anybody does, even somebody with a good liver.
Yeah, I mean it's a little. Some days is a little bit more extreme than others, but nobody knows that.
You can feel the difference though.
Yeah, some days I'm like really like no matter what I do, I'm just wiped. I can't. Like I'm suffering. Is
it due to a poor diet, you think, in combination of the liver?
It would be like a combination of poor diet and like not staying absolutely on top of everything. And that's what's keeping me look like a regular, functioning like a regular person, is being absolutely 100% on top of everything. Exercise, diet,
how's sleep? How is your sleep now?
Sleep is good. I mean, it gets less. It gets less in the summer because my schedule is really messed up because of the touring. But I power naps.
Yeah, naps do wonders for me. Oh. I mean, I don't want to admit, you got to be a tough guy and act like you don't take naps. But a 10, 20, not too much.
Right.
It's got to be a power nap.
Yep.
Gandhi swears by naps. He said that, meditation period recharges your batteries.
Yes.
And there's no better form of meditation than a nap.
Yeah. Meditation is huge. I've done that my whole life. And it especially comes in handy in my life now because it brings stress levels down. Because I need to have that stress down low. Mm-hmm. I do everything. I'm fighting every day from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep to not go back. It's just like never-ending fight. You're like, well, it should be easier, right?
When you say go back, what do you mean exactly? Go back to drinking?
Go back to who I like, that person that's like, okay.
That person, period.
Let go. It's still there.
It's not an option, though.
It's in the corner.
You'd think because it's not an option that would help, but.
That person, those demons are in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
They're getting stronger.
Guy here.
They're getting stronger every day.
Which one you want to listen to? Every day you wake up, which one you want to listen to?
Yeah, they're doing push-ups. They're doing curls in the corner.
Well, even for most people, all of us, hey, this guy goes, yeah, you really need to get your workout in today. Yeah. This guy goes, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Just do it a little longer tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, these are like decisional.
Yep. And that's it. That's how it is. It's like, I mean, you've worked so hard, like. You're in such good shape. Your doctor told you that you've made in the last 2 years like such good progress, and like you made a little bit more recovery, so you're a little more compensated now than you were 2 years ago. I'm like, how many other people that are on your stage like drink for years with liver cirrhosis before they die? Like, you can have one, right? Those are the things I'm fighting in my mind.
We can justification to find that reason for one.
And that's the voice that's talking to me all the time, nonstop, on my way here. Like, how many gas stations and liquor stores do I pass?
I guess that comes from their frontal lobe. Like even, okay, get real crazy thoughts. Like, there's thoughts of swerving off the road. Okay. There's thoughts of jumping off a cliff. And then the other side of the brain says that would be crazy. You don't want to lose this, and this.
Yep.
You have too much to live for. But I almost didn't pass high school. I got an F in psychology, my favorite class. We won't get into that. I failed. She failed me on a speech because I didn't have written notes. And I killed the speech. I mean, dude, I love this class.
Yeah.
I killed the speech, but everybody should turn in your notes. I didn't have any. I got an F. Required course. Failed. So I had to write an essay. I got to pick the topic, and I chose born criminalism. Are you just born a criminal? Okay, and there are people after reading this that I feel that are born to be criminals because they profiled the human skull. They went to a prison and profiled 3D everyone's skull. And most of them had the same trait. Enlarged frontal lobe. That's where the evil thoughts come from.
Interesting.
So there's some type of science, philosophy that says large frontal lobe is overpowering in the evil thoughts.
Interesting. That makes me want to go study that some more.
It was interesting. I actually was glad I did it. I was amazed. I'm telling everybody about it. Nobody cared. In high school, 18, they're at the gravel pit.
They're like, yeah, whatever.
They're drinking in the gravel pit.
Yeah.
They didn't care about, hey, I come down there with a book.
Oh, cool. Hey, here's my frontal lobe.
Oh, man. So, yeah, everybody got to party, and I'm learning about the frontal lobe. Anyways, what's next for you? Okay, so you got a big summer ahead of you with the schedule. You guys backed on your schedule, I know, a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, I
But
was.
you're just being more efficient with the business.
Correct. That's just how it works, And also we're thinking about, like, we all have families.
Boogie and Yo-Yos, they could go to, just real quick, Boogie and Yo-Yos. Can people find you on, we're not wrapping up necessarily. I'm just saying.
I'm currently in a band. Like, I went from Threat Level Midnight Callous. Let me just quickly go through this. Threat Level Midnight Callous. I was in an original band called Gain. That's original music, hard rock music, in the mix of Callous. And halfway through my Callous career is when I sobered up, and that's when I became very ambitious in my career and really got really hard working on my vocals, entertainment, fitness, everything. I became ambitious and wanted to network and connect with people and become very more established in the realm of music and the scene in itself. So the second half was really good in Callous, and then my plan was never to leave, actually. And then I got a message from the leaders of Boogie and the Yo-Yos.
And you were a free agent. You got picked up.
Well, I wasn't free, but they're like, hey, we see a lot of potential in you. Would you consider trying out, because we may be in a situation where we won't have a front man, so we're going to go through a tryout period. We thought you have potential. Would you like to try out? I didn't know who Boogie and the Yo-Yos was at that time.
Really?
I didn't.
It was a different type of music.
Yeah, I mean, it was different. It was variety. I was more of a rock, hard rock.
That was your niche.
Yeah, that was my niche. I kind of like brushed it off. Really didn't think much of it until like a month or so, maybe later. Hey, just reaching out, just thinking if you had any more thoughts about that, if you wanted to.
They followed up.
I'm like, okay, well, I don't know.
You didn't even know how you felt.
I didn't know. I didn't know who they were. I didn't know how big they were. I didn't know what. So I did my research, and I'm like, okay, well, let me just see who's banned. Because at this point, I've gotten a lot of inquiries around the state that were more lateral movements.
Okay, same.
They were like same popular, but in a different part of Wisconsin.
Same genre.
Like same popular, same genre, and like same popular in just a different part of Wisconsin.
Oh, I got you.
They're just lateral movements, which was okay, because then you never know when there's potential to expand. But being in a different area, maybe a bigger area than Manitowoc. But then I look these guys, I'm like, what kind of bars do they play in? Looking them up. look at the videos. I'm like, that's not a bar. All right, next video. That's not a bar. Holy crap. What is that? Like 6,000 people? What is this? What is this band? I'm looking at to check on them. They're like,
And they reached out to me?
they're like 30-some thousand followers on Facebook. I'm like, oh my God. I'm not good enough for this band. I shouldn't even respond. There's no way. I'm not good enough for this band. I am not. And then they kind of talked to him a little bit, and then I talked to my wife, and I was not going to try out. My wife's like, this is what you've been working so hard on. This is what
The voice of reason showed up again.
This is what I really think you should do this. Because I'm like, looking at their schedule, I'm going from like hobby band on the weekends to now this is going to become a job.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I'm going to become a musician. Like
That's a big league.
Yeah. Like going into like making money actually with this. And it would require for me to be away. But
that's the trade-off.
She's the one that was like, no,
that's love. She knew the best thing for you is in your best interest.
This is your passion. This is what you love. And this is like, you never gave up on this. Like
it's like the pros, the MLB calling you.
Yeah.
When you're in the farm league, you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll go try out. So I tried out in 2021 in Sturgeon Bay at the county fair.
That's where you tried out?
Yeah.
How does that work?
They brought me up. They're like, here's a couple songs.
Live audience.
Yeah.
Okay. This isn't what I was picturing for a tryout.
They're crazy. This is their tryout. They're not like, okay, we rehearse at this time at this.
That's what I was assuming.
At this location, and we'll just see how.
What better way to throw you in the fire?
They're like, no.
Wow.
If you're truly for this spot, you're gonna come in here and you're gonna do it. Like, and I'm already a working musician,
which is true.
So like I can just do it. It's just bigger stage, bigger production. So, in that very, very tight band and next level, I'm like, okay, I'll give them my best shot.
That's all you can do.
And they were a variety band. And I looked at their variety. I looked at their set list. I looked at all their stuff. And I was like debating, weighing it out. I'm like, could I see myself in a band like this?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm like, I know I'm going to be singing country, which I'm not the biggest fan of country. I'm like, but I think I can get around that. Pop music, oldies, classic rock, alternative.
Because you're a music guy, period, though. Like you can.
But all the songs that they play are like what I call guilty pleasures. Like, if you're gonna like, I remember this song back in my day, or I really want to just put this song. I remember listening to this song, this hit. Like all those hits are like what Boogie and the Yo-Yos do, variety, and it's just a party band. It's about energy, about party, having fun. So I'm like, I think I could see myself, because that's what I was trying to
making a lot of people happy.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to push myself to be with Callus, was more of like a party rock band. So I was like,
okay,
I was already melding into it without me even knowing it. So I tried out. I didn't think I was gonna get it. I'm just like, I'm gonna go try out. I tried out, got done. While I was there trying out, the singer at that point was sick. So they're like, can you sing a couple more songs? Do you think you know a couple more songs other than the two that I like planned to just use for my tryout? I'm like, I did not plan any further than this.
But first, did they hear you sing? Because they're not going to say that. They wouldn't ask you unless they heard some samples.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right? And then they're like, hey, can you stick around?
Oh, yeah. They did their research on me, come to find out, before they even asked me to audition. They saw potential. Sense. They saw more potential than I saw in myself. Like, that's the kind of person I am. I'm like, sure, I could try to sing as much as I can, and I ended up getting rained out halfway through the show. And then like, okay, we'll message you. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right.
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Craig, type thing. It was like the next day, I think, or a day or two later. I believe it was the next day. So it's unanimous. Would you like the job?
Wow.
And like, it's yours if you want it. I'm like, told my wife, and I'm just like, I can't believe. I'm like, they're like huge. They're like Wisconsin and surrounding states. I'm like,
guys, look them up. Boogie and Yo-Yos. If you don't know, now you know.
who knows who's trying out from all over the state, like the different kind of skilled and already seasoned vets that were probably
Absolutely.
trying out.
Right.
And I'm just like this up and coming kind of guy, like had lots of work to do still, and they saw faith in me, so they offered me a spot, and I'm like, okay, this is it, time to strap up and really do it. So jumping into it, and I had some big shoes to fill, man. Steve Olson, woo, that guy can sing.
Mhm.
That guy can sing. I love the guy. He's super nice, great personality on stage, like a front man, and he was a good mentor. Like he helped me like
Fantastic.
step into the spot.
Oh, that's great transition.
Yeah, he was very helpful. Not much so much like oh, this is what you gotta do. This is how you gotta do. Like it was more of like a mental thing.
Yeah. Because you're gonna do it different.
Yeah,
You're gonna rub your own funk on this.
right, and
It can't be like him.
sure.
You know?
And he was with the band for 11 years, so the fan base is just stuck on him. Like
Yeah.
they.
Well,
they-
you see it at Fire even in a small scale
yeah.
how people are when they
Yeah, I get that.
they can't go
No,
anywhere.
I can't go anywhere. No, that's right.
I'm quitting.
Yeah, that's right. And I get it, because even I left him like, you can't go. I mean, I'll try my best. Like, so it was big shoes to fill.
How was that transition?
It was
I did
tough.
talk to you. I asked you that because that was on my mind.
It was tough. That first year was tough.
You said there were some messages and comments and just
Yeah, and this
you'd got to expect that.
in this world that we live in now, with social media and like
It's easy,
how easy it is for people to say things.
but mean. But how do you say mean things in life and feel good about it? Period.
Yeah.
Even if it's on,
I mean,
it's still real.
I appreciate it because I've had this in my whole music career. When you're any type of musician trying to really work to be better, as you get better, you have a ladder to climb. You as long as you're being true to yourself, that you're trying to work to be better, you're not gonna always be good. So you're trying to get better each year, and that's what I was trying to do. I knew I wasn't good when I started, like at 19, 20, but it was just like every year trying to get better and better and better. I almost preferred the people who came up to me during that time, like would come up to my face all drunk and tell me that I sucked.
That's good.
Those are fun times in the bars.
Now they got the keyboard warriors.
Yeah, and now
Are you past that?
yeah.
It's been almost 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, I never really let that get into me, because I have the mentality of once I'm focused on something, and that was to better myself vocally and to just try to do my best. I'm in the ring, like I'm like focused.
How about the haters, though?
Nothing.
I mean, there can't be still haters. Anybody going after 4 or 5 years, this guy still sucks.
I always say, because I see like bigger bands like Linkin Park, they just changed singers.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They have a female
I
singer
always
now.
liked them. Oh, really?
Because there's many years with Chester passed away, didn't think Linkin Park would come back, and here they come back, and they got a female singer.
Yeah.
So much hate for this girl.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Um,
Isn't that something? Would
but-
you rather us not play?
but they're playing all over the world. Like, they're still huge.
Yeah.
And
Well, you always hear the loud voice. The empty can rattles the loudest,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So we don't hear the positivity, and we're human beings. So what do?
Yeah.
We focus on. There could be 300 great comments.
Yeah.
You're gonna find the two as a human being.
Yeah.
And we're gonna focus on, because
Correct.
we focus on problems in life.
Yeah.
That's what we're programmed to do.
Yeah.
We're not programmed to focus on the wins.
Mm-hmm.
We're programmed to focus on why we lost.
Yeah, and I like I said, what I always say is that you don't know that you're truly getting somewhere until you have like the haters coming in. Like, anything you do, whether you're going to be a good
you're getting warm.
athlete, like on a football team, whatever. If you're getting popular and you're actually doing something that's noticeable,
Getting close.
you're always gonna have a bunch of people that are like rooting on you up, and you don't see a lot of like naysayers. And then as you grow, and whether it be a business, you're an inventor, you build up this product, and your stuff gets big, whether it be like a big company like Walmart or something. Once it gets to anything that gets to a popularity level that's like above and beyond, and they're doing something that's noticeable, you're going to have more naysayers because you have more people seeing and more people watching.
And people always aim up.
Yeah.
They don't aim down.
Yeah.
Like the worst team in the league, nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
Right? You're talking about...
Yeah. I think it's the same variable, whether it's small. Like you might have like, let's just say 10 to 1. You're going to have 10 people that love you and then one person hate you. Now you got like 10,000 people. Now you got 100 people hating on you.
Yeah.
Now you got 100 people hating you.
Yeah,
But
makes sense.
like you said, like people are going to you're going to pay attention to that. Now instead of seeing one comment, you're going to see 100 comments.
I don't know, you do a great job. I watch all your videos.
And I don't really,
love it.
I mean, I don't really care. Like everybody has their
You're
opinion.
good. I mean, and you got it. So we didn't even talk about the confidence level. You know you're good. You might not say it, but you're good. When you know you're good, nothing can bother you.
I feel like I don't say like I'm good, but I say that I have good nights and bad nights. You know, I have good nights and better nights.
Yeah.
I feel like I did good. Like I done like the best that I could. I cleaned it up as much as I was as sharp as I could have been where I'm at now in my skill set. Like I know where I can improve. So now I'm going to go home this week and I'm going to try to improve that. And I'm going to try to be the best at my current skill set. So like I'm going to be good in my skill set. There's always going to be someone bigger, better. So
and you're always learning. You're evolving.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're learning. You're evolving as an entertainer.
Yeah, and naysayers, I respect their opinion. Like I really do.
I think you do. I bet you do.
I'll read it and I don't get upset about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, good point.
Yeah.
Like I understand that. I'm like, I get it. Like I get what you're saying, and people don't like change. You know,
That's very true.
It takes a while for people to get over change, and
it's uncomfortable. And people don't like being uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I'm just I go into anything I do now being in the point of my life that I'm now with recovery. Everything I do, I just want to do with like love. I want to be able to provide a light for people. You can naysay it all you want, but it's that you got to shine your light so bright that it goes into other people's darkness. You know, you got to just keep going and stay focused on what you're trying to accomplish. And me, it's just, I want to provide a smile on your face.
You're not going to be derailed at this point.
No. And I respect everybody, and you could hate me and I would still like respect you.
I do believe you're that type of person.
I care deeply about people, for sure. I've been dealing with people like my whole life, so I've seen many personalities. I've seen good, bad,
ugly,
like, and I understand there's always a little bit of good in somebody. You know, somebody could be a bad person doesn't mean they're going to be like a bad father. You know, there's always a little bit of good.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So they make bad decisions that put them in bad places. But they have some good in them. Like I try to see that in everybody.
You're trying to find that.
Yeah. I'm all about that. I always music was always my escape, so I want to provide that for people. When you come to my show, I want to be able to release my valve, come out there, and I want to shine that light. And I want you for a moment in time, forget about the bills, forget about I'm in an argument with somebody, forget about what happened at work today, forget about everything. I'm having so much fun here tonight.
Lose yourself in it.
And like, you're going to leave there and go home and go sleep, and you're going to feel, wow, that was fun. I felt good. Oh, I'm ready to tackle the day now. If I can provide that for somebody, then my job's done. I'm not a person who wants their ego stroked. Like, I want to provide for you. I don't want to have an ego stroked type thing.
Love it, man.
Yeah. But Boogie and the Yo-Yos, I've been in the band for now 4 years, going on 5 years, and yoyos.com if you want to go there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Plug it.
That's the that's where you get our schedule. We're a little less than last year. Last year was a crazy year. We were all over the place. It was wild. And you guys came out. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, man.
That's fun. Now you're gonna have to check it out.
Well,
again this year.
Yeah, where are you coming? Anywhere close? I mean, we can go anywhere, but ICC at all? No.
Yeah, I mean, well, that was the plan. I don't know.
I'd love to see you there. They remodeled that whole place. There's a huge garage door now at the stage.
Yeah.
So it's really neat.
We play there every year, but I don't know how it's, there's some coding issues that's going on or something there. They have to figure out.
Yeah, with their new renovations, I bet.
Yeah, and that's making their capacity low.
Mm-hmm.
So we bring in beyond that capacity. So
there should be some more outdoor seating then.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
We'll find you. We'll find you for sure.
Oh yeah.
Don't call me out like last year and embarrass me. They'll be. No, he made me feel good.
It was awesome. Look at that. I'm like, oh, this guy needs the spotlight for a second.
Oh yeah, it was on me. It was hot. Love it, man.
It was good though. But I know how you are. You're like we connect because I like professional wrestling. I know you do.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, before I was into music, I was deeply into wrestling. I wanted to be a professional wrestler when I grew up.
I could see you doing that. Rey Mysterio type of very, very athletic.
Yeah, so my
gymnastic stuff. That's what people are paying for now.
Yeah, it was.
It's not the big steroids.
At that point, it was Attitude, so it was more like.
Oh, Attitude Era. Okay.
Jeff Hardy.
Uh-huh.
Matt Hardy.
You ever watch Dark Side of the Ring?
No.
Would you please, if you would do me one more favor?
Yes.
Than drive in 4 hours.
Okay.
Look up Dark Side of the Ring.
Okay.
Dude, this is, they find the stories that are very deep. A lot of them. Actually, I'll say most of them have tragic endings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's the backstory and interviews. They're documentaries, which I do love.
Yeah.
I love reality. I really love real reality.
Yeah.
The true stories behind these guys and girls, a lot of women, and the personalities, and just see from and they're talking about like Steve Austin's mom was making his wardrobe.
Yeah.
Who the hell, really? And you're talking about WWE. And then the character changes. Vince McMahon.
Yep.
Then it got into WCW. Were you ever following it then?
Yep.
Okay, so you're following that. That I was a
the Monday Night
WCW
Wars
guy. Oh yeah. That was what the hell was it called? Never mind. It was they were both on at the same time. WWE and WCW were on at the same time.
That was the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
The Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
That's when they brought in like DX and everything, and that was what caused more popularity. And then Austin and all.
Which one were you watching? I was WCW.
I would watch more WWF.
Okay.
WWF, not WWE.
That before it switched over.
Yep.
Yeah.
I would occasionally peek at WCW, and watch like Hogan and like Sting and
the Wolfpack.
Yes,
that was
that. I would watch that and be like, okay, I'm gonna go back over here and watch this. This is much better.
Yeah, no, I was the other way. I'd flip over. No, I was stuck with Scott Hall.
Yeah.
Buff Bagwell.
The storylines and stuff and how professionalism and how things worked out in the ring were more clean in WWF than they were in WCW. You would see a lot of botches and stuff that happened in WCW, and I think that was a big part of their downfall.
Oh yeah, their production was nowhere near.
But it was good.
They made a run at it for a little while.
It was good. They had a lot of big characters there.
For a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
You got to see Dark Side of the Ring.
I'm going to have to look that
It's
up.
behind the scenes on all this stuff.
Yeah.
All the big matches.
Yeah.
Bash at the Beach, what really happened with Hogan, how he got the belt, because he had actually creative control.
Oh.
He worked that into his contract.
Yes, he did.
So they, Vince Russo was the writer for WCW, went behind his back. Just super cool, really cool stuff. Anyways, yeah. Well, it's a production.
Right.
I love entertainment and production.
Yeah.
I see value in it, and I appreciate it.
I loved it. I'm like, man, look at it, like The Rock, Stone Cold, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, like watching them and just seeing how like electric they were and how like they would be a stadium full of people. And at that time they had actual cameras, and that's what really like made me think how awesome it was, because at that time, not cell phones, cameras had flashes. So when you saw a spot happen, like a big moment, the camera
Flashes
across the whole
You still can't beat that.
Oh man, I was just
You
like,
can't beat that.
That gave me goosebumps every time I watched it. I'm like, I want to live that. That is so cool.
Have you ever seen Jake the Snake?
Yeah.
The Resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts documentary.
With DDP?
Yep. You saw it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I followed all that.
That's a great documentary.
DDP yoga.
Yeah. Saved his life.
Yep. That guy's doing good
He
things.
went and picked his ass up at home.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. And it was a rocky road at his house.
Oh yeah.
But he took him in. DDP saved a lot of people's lives.
Yes. He is a great man. What he does for not just like the normal person, like people who you'd feel like are beyond gone.
Yeah.
Like how he can help them find the red road, as they say in the natives.
Okay.
The red road.
Love it.
The straight and narrow, the path.
Love it.
Next, like with the sobriety thing, is like becoming sober. I'm now 7 years.
Congratulations.
I put myself in rehab. So like when I was in rehab, the lady that was running it, she's like, "You're the only person in this group that's put themselves here. Everybody was like court ordered."
Well, you're going to have a better outcome, you'd think, statistically, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that much either.
It was
You put yourself in, you take yourself out.
Yeah. It was 6 months outpatient program.
Where was that at?
HFM Behavioral in Manitowoc.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know they had something like that there.
Yeah, you can do either 3-month inpatient, which is like you're in a facility, you're doing it every day.
Give up your phone.
Yeah, you're living life. Like you're going to groups, you're going to all things. Like you're living it day in and day out. But I didn't find the value in that for myself because I wanted to continue my music. So I needed to be able to function in the real world and be able to apply that, because I'm like, there's no returning back to drinking, but I need to rediscover myself and how can I function and combat my demons, like learn to combat my demons while I'm out there. So the outpatient program allowed that, where I would report to the clinic and stay there for a few hours and do like learn stuff and then go out, and then I would have to mark on a sheet that I had to go to AA like how many times. So I was basically doing something every day, but I was able to return home every day, go to work, and like do my stuff.
Yeah, I could see that too. I see that, creating healthy habits and living the real life, other than just locking somebody up and slamming the door behind them.
But that doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. You got to find what works for you to get over it. So that's what worked for me, and I did it, and I graduated, and now I'm here 7 years later. I'm going to be 8 years in November, and I still am a baby, still learning. I'm like 8 years reborn type thing, but I like sharing all this stuff because at this point I'm gone past like telling the stories of like healing myself. I'm hoping that it can help start the healing process for others, knowing that I'm not like, to make sure that people know that they're not alone, like, because I've said that a million times already, like feeling alone, like depression and addiction, like you're not alone, like you don't have to be alone, and to know while you're suffering that you're not alone, and maybe listening to this while you're by yourself is therapeutic. I'm hoping,
Jesse Gonzalez, when he was on here, said an interesting thing. He said a problem shared is a problem cut in half. There's other people out there to share your problem that they want to accept this and help you take some responsibility. I never heard that before.
That's very well said. Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
And I try to help as many people as I can. I always get messages and things, and I try my best.
What's your biggest piece of advice to somebody listening to this that maybe be struggling with alcohol?
If you are struggling, know that it's not going to happen unless you want it. It's not going to happen unless you want it. You're going to have a lot of people around you saying, hey, you have a problem, or I hate seeing you self-destruct like this. Can you please stop? I love you. Can we figure this out? You maybe sat down for interventions of some sort, or people point out, or you're on your 6th OWI and you've lost how many jobs this year, and you're not quite up to the part where you want to like stop. But you kind of are, but you're like, I don't know how to stop. First step to stopping is admitting that you have a problem, of course. But the biggest hump, and this takes a long time, is getting to the point where you're like, I'm ready. If you think about that, like, are you truly ready? Like, are you going to stop? Like, is it time? Like, this is it. Like, that thought process, that mental hill that you have to climb to convince yourself, you're not even trying to convince yourself. You're trying to be enlightened. To be enlightened to the point where you're like, okay, this is it. And you're going to do it for you. It's the best selfish thing you're ever going to do.
Love it. I like that. I like the being enlightened and knowing that there's something better. Because just on the playing on what you just said, though, people think that it's a bad thing. Well, I got to get clean, and it's going to suck.
It's scary because you're going into an unknown. You've developed a world around you.
But it's going to get worse is what they think. Their life is not going to be as good after.
Yes.
Because this is fucking fun. I'm drinking, I'm partying.
Yes.
Or even if it's just a few cocktails at home. Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And it's going to suck after if I stopped.
And I'll note this, that you don't have to have an absolute problem to claim that you want to stop. You don't have to be.
It could be a problem to you.
Yeah. If it's causing a rift in your life, like, man, I keep waking up in the morning feeling like crap, and my mornings always suck. I feel okay by the afternoon, but my mornings always suck. My moods are always bad. Or I make bad eating decisions or something like that, and I've been trying to lose weight.
That's a big one.
That type of thing. Like, if it's causing a rift in life and it's causing you to, if it's making blockages to goals, and for you being the highest, the best and highest self, then maybe think about, like, it's time to maybe give it up. Like, is it really serving you?
Yeah.
And if you are okay with that, then you can stop. It doesn't have to be an addiction. It doesn't have to be
That's
anything.
a good point.
It can be anything. It could whether it be food. It'd be it could be harder drugs, could be alcohol. It could be anything. Like, I watch too much TV or something like that. If it causes an issue where it's stopping you from moving forward, you can choose to stop, but you have to want to stop. Yeah. And you have to be enlightened to that fact.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah. Admit to yourself, and then enlighten yourself that it's time, and then be selfish. Do it for you. And when you get to that point and you create a strong foundation, then you get to a point where kind of like where I'm doing it, where I'm talking and maybe what I'm saying can help. And then you start living to help others. Yep. And that's when you get into a field of, like,
whole different world there.
Music, And then fitness is what I really wanted to, because I wanted to help others.
And it could be anything that they find.
Yeah.
Those are your things, and you're doing a great job at both.
Yeah. I want to help people's struggles.
Well, we're gonna find out actually about the vocals though.
No. Yes.
All right. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. All right. Stick around. Here you go. Everybody, stick around. We're gonna find out about those vocals I've been talking about for an hour and 47 minutes. Hang on.
He's got something.
Got the dynamic handheld mic in my hand, in my right hand, for all you guys who have downloaded this, maybe listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. All right. Let's see. Let's try this. I've been just try it. Okay. All right. Stand up.
Oh, we're gonna stand up.
Yep. All right. Make sure you got enough mic.
Oh.
Anything out? Can you hear yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I gotta hear this. Right.
What?
Make sure they can see you better.
Oh.
All right. Lorenzo is gonna pick something out. What is your best? Give us some type of vocal that you can do single-handed. Give the audience something here. We want to hear you. We want to hear you sing, man.
Me sing?
Hey, do a mic check on that.
Check 1
Okay.
2.
Oh yeah, she good.
Oh, yeah.
Good. She's live. I put you on the spot. I'm
Put me
putting
on
him on the
put-
spot straight up. I've been thinking about this all day, and I'm like, I was really loving the idea.
I don't know. What do you like?
I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to just pull something out of your, you know what, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, most people like, and obviously, I come up with all excuses, but the biggest thing too is like warm ups and all that stuff. But
Yeah, he's cold, guys. Okay, and they know it. They know it. Turn around every now and then.
that's Paige's song. Paige sings that one. I'll go turn around,
Whoa!
turn around, bright eyes.
See what we're working with here.
Everybody likes when I sing Journey though.
Let's hear some Journey. Can we hear some Journey?
Highway run into the midnight sun. Wheels go round and round. You're on my mind.
Wow. Get a little more. Come on. I'm getting a free concert here.
Restless hearts sleep alone tonight. Sending all my love along the wire.
Hell yes. Jeepers Cripes.
I mean, it was all right.
Damn, dude. That was a nice job.
Thanks. Yeah, doing my best, you know.
That was fun. You maybe pull
And
the
whether
chair
that was
back
in
to
key or not, I don't know.
God.
We'll see.
in my headphones, you were. I think it sounded great. That's fun.
Yeah, it was all right. It's good times. Singing is fun. Like everybody should sing.
Watch that. I'll tip over.
Everybody should sing. I love karaoke. Not me doing karaoke. I just love the premise of karaoke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Makes anybody everyday rock star.
Yeah. I mean, I when friends invite me out, I'm like, it's not to bash anybody, but I know I'm not going to get like a professional. Like rarely do you get someone that's like a professional jumping onto the karaoke screen, but I love it because it's fun. Yeah. I love seeing everyone's interpretations.
You like to watch people have fun.
Yes, I do.
There's nothing wrong with that. And isn't that something you got to explain to people?
I know.
And people are like, what? I'm not following you.
Yeah.
You like to watch people have fun.
I know. People go there and be like, stop, and like.
Get it. I know. They don't. They're just, they're uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm like, they're taking it takes big kahunas to just go up there and say, I'm grabbing the mic,
yes,
I'm gonna sing. And while you're sitting there criticizing,
And there are people criticizing.
you're sitting there and you're not up there doing it.
That's exactly right, man.
Think about it.
I know.
Like, what if you get up there? Let's see you do it.
I know. Well, I'm not here to do. No, bullshit. You knew there was fucking karaoke tonight.
Yeah. Right.
You knew there was karaoke.
Yes. Yes.
You showed up.
You can do it. Do it.
Oh,
it doesn't
man.
matter how good you are. Like, be that person that everybody wants to be, like a rock star. Like they saw a concert or they heard somebody like, I want to live that moment for a second.
It's
Do
true.
it. Use karaoke. Do it.
Dude, I'm still having the dream where you're in the band in the audience and the lead singer guy, this is no bullshit, don't do this, okay? But the lead singer guy, hey, get up here. And you get up there and you just freaking rock it, man. I mean, it's don't tell me you haven't had that dream or thought.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For sure. Especially your favorite band. If
You
you're
want to get up there
if
and
you're
jam.
up in the front barricades, you want that person to be like, you want to come up here in front of a stadium full of people?
You know it more than anybody, man.
Oh, man.
All right, well, hey, thanks, everybody. If you loved it, share it. And I want to thank you, Lorenzo, very, very much again.
Thank you for having me.
I always get something out of your words, and I think a lot of people, other people did too, consistently and continuously do.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
That's Quick Trip.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Let's come up with a. Oh, we got another thing we do.
Yeah.
Pitch up.
Do it with intensity.
Or not at all.
What's up, brother? Oh, yeah. Did you have fun?
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me. That was great.